OpenAI is reportedly raising over $100 billion, at a valuation approaching $850 billion. And yeah, that number is hard to picture. For a second, just treat it like a signal. When the money gets that big, it's not just fuel. It's part of how the whole thing is going to run. So today, I'm not going to argue about whether the model is smart. I want to look at something more practical: control. Reports indicate that Amazon, SoftBank, Nvidia, and Microsoft are circling this round. And OpenAI has talked about compute spending that could climb into the hundreds of billions by 2030. That's the giveaway. A bill like that doesn't look like a normal software product. It belongs to a build-out: chips, data centers, power, and long contracts. Software scales by shipping updates. Build-outs scale by securing supply. Once you're building at this level, the hard part isn't the demo. It's keeping the system reliable. If you've ever seen how enterprise IT works, you know what reliable means. Someone gets paged at 3 a.m. and the company expects it fixed. That's where leverage shifts toward whoever can guarantee capacity. Two words matter most here: compute and deployment. Compute is the engine: GPUs, servers, data centers, and the electricity that feeds them. Deployment is the pipeline: security reviews, audit logs, uptime guarantees, billing, support, integration. Most projects don't fail because the model is weak. They slow down right here. A demo proves capability. Deployment proves control. Once you see engine plus pipeline, the investor list makes a lot more sense. It reads like a map of choke points. Nvidia sits upstream on the engine. Microsoft and Amazon sit on the cloud gates where enterprises actually plug in. SoftBank brings long horizon capital, the kind that holds a position for years. If you stack that up, the intent becomes pretty clear: secure access, secure continuity, secure priority. This isn't just funding, it's a reshuffle of deployment power. And that's what people miss in the headline. The bigger story is position. Winners shape the deployment paths. And once those paths are set, the next question is obvious: who gets to cash in? That's where IPO talk shows up. IPO doesn't make the product better. It changes the ownership game. It turns private value into something tradable. And it creates a structured exit for early investors. But infrastructure spending doesn't move on IPO timelines. Data centers take time. Power deals take time. That's why the investor mix matters. Some investors want liquidity. Others want control of the path. If you're building AI like infrastructure, that second group starts to win. Because whoever controls deployment controls adoption. And adoption is where the real moat gets built. So IPO isn't the ending. It's a pressure test. Can the pipeline stay reliable when the world is watching? Can capacity keep up without breaking the grid? That's why valuation isn't the main story. The main story is who owns the choke points. And $100 billion is a way to buy years of advantage in those choke points. So when you hear IPO, don't think hype. Think control getting priced in. And that's the setup for the last part: what this means for everyone else in the ecosystem. Here's what it means for everyone else. The bottleneck moves. It used to be, can you build a good model? Now it's, can you get reliable deployment? And that changes who gets to compete. If you're a startup, the question becomes, what do you control? Not the engine, not the grid. You control niches, workflows, and distribution inside a community. If you're an enterprise buyer, you're buying uptime and accountability, which means the safest choice often wins, even if it's not the best demo. That's why control of deployment becomes the quiet advantage. For governments and regulators, the question is simpler: where does the power draw land? Because compute isn't abstract, it's megawatts. So the $100 billion story is also a who gets priority story. And priority is how ecosystems tilt quietly but permanently. If you want one mental model, it's this: AI is becoming a utility. Utilities reward scale, reliability, and access. And the players funding this aren't guessing, they're positioning. So the right takeaway isn't OpenAI is rich. It's the deployment layer is being bought and priced. Follow the choke points, and the headline becomes obvious.